Have you ever noticed how the people who try the hardest to be noticed are often the ones who are overlooked? Yet the person who walks into a room with quiet confidence without demanding attention or approval somehow becomes impossible to ignore. That isn't luck. It isn't magic. It's the power of self-respect, emotional strength, and authenticity. The truth is, attraction rarely begins with perfect words or expensive clothes. It begins with the energy you carry before you even say a single sentence. Too many men believe they need to become someone else to be attractive. They think they need to memorize clever lines, pretend to be mysterious, or constantly seek ways to impress. But genuine attraction doesn't grow from performance, it grows from presence. When you know your worth, your actions become calm, your decisions become intentional, and your confidence speaks louder than any rehearsed conversation ever could. The first secret is understanding that confidence is not about believing you're better than everyone else. Confidence is believing that you don't need to compete for someone's approval. It is walking through life knowing that your value doesn't increase because someone praises you, and it doesn't disappear because someone ignores you. That mindset changes everything. People are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable with themselves because confidence creates a sense of safety and stability. Think about the strongest people you've ever met. Chances are they weren't the loudest in the room. They didn't interrupt others to prove their intelligence. They didn't constantly seek compliments. Instead, they listened carefully, spoke with purpose, and carried themselves with quiet certainty. Their strength came from within, not from the opinions of strangers. Many men unknowingly lose their attractiveness the moment they begin chasing validation. Every text sent out of insecurity, every attempt to force attention, every moment spent pretending to be someone they're not slowly weakens the image they're trying so hard to create. Ironically, the more you chase, the further genuine connection seems to move away. But when you stop chasing and start building yourself, something remarkable happens. Your focus shifts from trying to win someone's interest to becoming a man whose life naturally inspires interest. This doesn't mean becoming cold or emotionally unavailable. Real strength isn't about hiding your feelings. It's about controlling your emotions instead of allowing them to control you. A confident man can express kindness without appearing weak. He can show interest without becoming desperate. He can walk away from disrespect without anger because he understands that protecting his peace is more important than winning every person's approval. The most attractive quality any man can develop is purpose. When your life is filled with meaningful goals, personal growth, healthy relationships, and ambitions that excite you, people notice. Your conversations become richer because you're living a fulfilling life. Your smile becomes more genuine because your happiness isn't dependent on another person's attention. Your confidence becomes natural because it is built on accomplishments, discipline, and character instead of temporary compliments. Remember this powerful truth: attraction is not about convincing someone to like you. It is about becoming the kind of person whose character, confidence, and authenticity naturally leave a lasting impression. The moment you stop trying to force attraction and start investing in yourself, you begin radiating something that cannot be faked. And often, that quiet, unwavering confidence becomes the very reason people feel drawn toward you before you even realize they're watching. There is a quiet power that most people completely overlook. While many believe attraction is created through nonstop talking, showing off, or trying to be the center of attention, the truth is often the exact opposite. Some of the strongest connections begin in moments of silence, calmness, and genuine presence. The man who understands this doesn't need to force conversations or constantly prove his value. His actions speak before his words ever do. One of the greatest mistakes a man can make is believing he has to impress everyone he meets. The harder you try to convince someone that you're interesting, the more pressure you place on yourself. That pressure changes your body language, your tone of voice, and even your decisions. Instead of being relaxed, you become anxious. Instead of listening, you begin performing, and people can often sense the difference, even if they can't explain it. Real attraction begins when someone feels comfortable around you. Comfort doesn't come from perfect jokes or expensive possessions. It comes from emotional stability. When you remain calm under pressure, maintain eye contact without intimidation, and speak with confidence instead of urgency, you create an atmosphere where others naturally relax. People remember how you make them feel far longer than they remember the exact words you said. Listening is one of the most underrated forms of confidence. Many people wait for their turn to speak instead of truly paying attention. But when you genuinely listen, ask thoughtful questions, and show sincere curiosity, you communicate something powerful. I value what you're saying. That kind of attention is rare in today's distracted world. It makes conversations meaningful rather than superficial. Patience is another hidden strength. In a world where everyone expects instant replies, instant results, and instant validation, patience stands out. A confident man doesn't panic if a conversation slows down. He doesn't send multiple messages because someone took time to respond. He understands that healthy relationships develop naturally, not through pressure. This calm attitude demonstrates emotional maturity, and emotional maturity is often far more attractive than outward appearance. Another important truth is that mystery isn't created by playing games or pretending not to care. Genuine mystery comes from having a full life that doesn't revolve around seeking attention. When you're busy pursuing your goals, improving your health, learning new skills, and building meaningful friendships, you naturally become more interesting. People become curious because they see someone who is passionate about life, not someone constantly seeking approval. Respect also plays a major role in lasting attraction. True confidence never needs to control, manipulate, or dominate another person. Instead, it creates space for honesty and mutual respect. A man who treats others with kindness, respects boundaries, and communicates clearly demonstrates strength of character. That strength cannot be copied with clever pickup lines or temporary charm because it comes from deeply rooted values. Perhaps the most powerful realization is this: attraction is never about becoming someone you're not. It is about removing the fear that prevents your authentic self from being seen. The more comfortable you become with who you are, the less energy you waste pretending to fit someone else's expectations. That freedom changes your posture, your voice, your smile, and your entire presence. When you stop trying to control every outcome and instead focus on becoming calm, purposeful, and emotionally grounded, you begin to create connections that feel effortless. People are naturally drawn toward those who bring peace instead of pressure, confidence instead of arrogance, and authenticity instead of performance. In the end, the silent attraction that lasts the longest is built not on tricks or manipulation, but on the quiet confidence of a man who already knows his worth. One of the biggest reasons attraction fades before it even has a chance to grow is neediness. It is not a lack of good looks, wealth, or charm that pushes people away. It is the silent message that says, "My happiness depends on whether you choose me." The moment you place your entire sense of worth into someone else's hands, you give away the very confidence that made you attractive in the first place. Real strength begins when you understand that your value exists long before anyone recognizes it. Think about a mountain. It doesn't beg people to admire it. It simply stands tall, unwavering through storms, seasons, and time. People travel from around the world just to witness its beauty because it doesn't chase attention. It naturally commands respect. Your character should be built the same way. The stronger your foundation becomes, the less you feel the need to convince anyone of your worth. Many men fall into the trap of constantly seeking reassurance. They overthink every text message, analyze every conversation, and worry about every small change in someone's behavior. This endless search for validation drains their energy and steals their peace of mind. Instead of enjoying the present moment, they become prisoners of imagined fears and endless what if questions, but confidence grows the moment you stop chasing certainty and start trusting yourself. This doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop losing yourself while trying to keep them. There is a powerful difference. A man with self-respect can love deeply without becoming emotionally dependent. He can show affection without abandoning his standards. He can invest in a relationship while still investing in his dreams, his health, his family, and his purpose. His life remains balanced because his identity is built on more than one person. The most attractive men are often those who are deeply committed to becoming better versions of themselves. They wake up each morning with goals that have nothing to do with impressing others. They train their bodies because discipline strengthens their minds. They read books because knowledge expands their perspective. They develop valuable skills because growth gives them confidence that no compliment can replace. Every small improvement becomes another brick in the foundation of genuine self-worth. Failure also becomes a different experience for these men. Rejection is no longer seen as proof that they aren't enough. Instead, it becomes a lesson, a redirection, or simply evidence that not every connection is meant to last. They don't allow one person's opinion to define their future because they understand an important truth. Compatibility matters more than approval. Not everyone will appreciate your qualities, and that's perfectly okay. The goal is not to be desired by everyone. The goal is to become authentic enough that the right people recognize your value. Another powerful habit is learning to enjoy your own company. If you cannot find peace when you're alone, you'll constantly search for someone else to fill that emptiness. But when you build a life you genuinely enjoy, relationships become a beautiful addition rather than an emotional necessity. You begin choosing people out of appreciation instead of desperation. And that changes every interaction you have. Never underestimate the power of walking away from situations that constantly drain your confidence. Protecting your peace is not arrogance, it is wisdom. You were never meant to beg for respect, chase affection, or convince someone to see your worth. The people who truly belong in your life will appreciate your character without requiring you to sacrifice your dignity. As you continue growing, you'll realize that the greatest attraction isn't created by trying harder to be noticed. It is created by becoming a man who respects himself enough to keep moving forward, with or without anyone's approval. When your confidence is rooted in purpose, discipline, integrity, and self-belief, you stop asking the world to validate your existence. Instead, you become someone whose quiet strength naturally inspires admiration. And that is the kind of attraction that cannot be forced, copied, or taken away. At the end of the day, the greatest transformation a man can experience has nothing to do with learning a clever trick or discovering the perfect words to make someone fall for him. Those things may capture attention for a moment, but they can never build genuine admiration. Lasting attraction is created by the person you become when no one is watching. It is shaped by the habits you practice, the promises you keep, and the respect you show yourself every single day. When you focus on becoming a better man instead of simply becoming more attractive, everything else begins to fall into place naturally. Imagine waking up every morning with a purpose so meaningful that your confidence no longer depends on who texted you back or who noticed your latest post. Imagine walking into every room knowing that your value is already established because it comes from your character, not from the opinions of strangers. That kind of confidence cannot be purchased, copied, or borrowed. It is earned through discipline, patience, and countless moments when you chose growth over comfort. Life has a way of testing every man. There will be moments when people misunderstand you, overlook your efforts, or walk away despite everything you offered. Those experiences can either break your spirit or strengthen your character. The difference lies in your mindset. If your identity depends entirely on external approval, every rejection feels like the end of the world. But if your identity is rooted in your values, your purpose, and your integrity, rejection becomes nothing more than a chapter, not the entire story. Never forget that respect begins with the way you treat yourself. The standards you set for your own life teach others how to treat you. If you constantly ignore your own boundaries, sacrifice your dreams to please everyone, or settle for relationships that drain your peace, you slowly convince yourself that your happiness is less important than someone else's comfort. But the moment you begin protecting your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being, you send a powerful message to the world. You know your worth. True leadership starts long before anyone chooses to follow you. It begins with leading yourself. It means showing up when motivation disappears. It means keeping your word even when no one would notice if you didn't. It means choosing honesty over shortcuts, discipline over excuses, and patience over impulsive decisions. These qualities don't just make you more attractive, they make you dependable, respected, and unforgettable. There is something incredibly magnetic about a man who lives with quiet confidence. He doesn't need to announce his achievements because his actions speak for him. He doesn't compete for attention because he understands that genuine connections are built through authenticity, not performance. He celebrates the success of others because he isn't threatened by it. He remains calm during difficult moments because his strength comes from within, not from circumstances he cannot control. As your life becomes richer with purpose, learning, meaningful friendships, and personal achievements, you'll notice an important shift. You stop asking, "How can I make someone like me?" and begin asking, "How can I become the best version of myself?" That single change transforms everything. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of seeking validation and replaces it with the satisfaction of continuous growth. Remember, the strongest attraction isn't created through manipulation, games, or pretending to be someone you're not. It is created when your confidence is genuine, your kindness is sincere, your words match your actions, and your life reflects your values. People are naturally drawn to those who inspire trust, stability, and authenticity because these qualities are rare in a world filled with masks and uncertainty. So stop measuring your worth by who stays and who leaves. Stop chasing people who fail to recognize your value. Instead, chase excellence, chase wisdom, chase discipline, chase purpose. Build a life so meaningful that your happiness no longer depends on someone else's approval. When you become a man of integrity, resilience, and unwavering self-respect, you won't have to force attraction or beg for attention. Your presence alone will speak louder than words. Your character will leave a lasting impression, and the right people will be drawn to the strength you've built from within. In the end, the most powerful attraction isn't about making someone unable to resist you. It's about becoming someone you are proud to be, regardless of who is watching.